Hello and welcome to World of Tanks with Trapsikis. We're looking at another one of my clan mates today. You'll notice that my clan's name has changed from TBM to Boss. Lots of politics, let's not go there. Right, so WoolyWings is playing in the T44, and the T44 has a premium variant, the T4400, which uses the lower alpha higher pen gun that you can mount on the T44. The main difference, however, is that the T4400 has some side skirting, about 6mm, that counts as spaced armor, which is great protection for HE, but with regards to effective armor, doesn't make much of a difference. However, there's a bit of a brain fart from Wargaming. They added metal side skirts and reduced the weight. Okay, right, let's think about that. So you add metal side skirts that weighs something to a tank that weighs something, and now your tank weighs less. Whatever metal they're using, I want it. Might just be jealousy talking, maybe it's just because I don't have a T4400 and I want one, but I think this might be a little bit unfair. Right, so you'll notice that WoolyWings has mounted the same gun that the 4400 gets. That is the 100mm as opposed to the 122. Lower alpha, 250 versus 390, but higher penetration, 190 versus 175. And the gun handling is obviously a little bit better, the accuracy is a lot better, and a lot less weight and better gun depression. The DPM on the 175mm or 122mm, sorry, is 1600, but with this gun it's over 2000. So the logical choice obviously being this gun. Also, even though it's got high penetration, your shell cost is about a quarter of that on the 122mm. So if you have the option, go for this tank, this gun. Right, so you'll notice that he started off shooting APCR and has already shot out all of his ammunition of that type, so he's had to switch to standard AP. This is a problem. So when you start off the game facing the heavies with a medium, you tend to face the better armor and you need to use your premium rounds. So try to avoid that kind of scenario where you have to use your premium and try to flank. But unfortunately you'll notice that the friendly heavies didn't really do their part, so Willie had to go in and do a bit of a face-off with the heavies. So I hope they thank him for that. Right, up to 2000 damage, but already down to 347 hit points. So a lot of the enemies should be able to one-shot him, so he needs to be very careful what plays he decides to take here. And you'll see this position is quite powerful, where you can use the cover here for both RT and incoming normal shells. And there is some bush, so you can provide a little bit of vision as well. Now the scores 1 second ago didn't look that bad, 3 versus 4 kills, but 2 losses on his friendly side puts it 3 versus 6 kills, which makes quite a difference to the landscape. And now you notice that WoolyWings just used auto-aim for the first time, and it was only for the fast-moving LC even 90. WoolyWings doesn't use auto-aim for the very good reason that you need to snipe at tier 8 and up. You need to aim for weak spots, and auto-aim will not do that for you. So my advice to you, as early as possible in this game, try to eliminate using auto-aim and use manual aim, and get to learn the tanks, get to know the tanks so that you know where to aim for which tank. A bit more on that later on. So friendlies in a very difficult position. The enemy has taken the town, but the friendlies have taken the field. Obviously there's more cover in the town, so it's easier to stay there and shoot from there. Fortunately, the friendly defender takes out the ISM, but the enemy 4400 takes out the defender. Very nice of the Super Pershing there to provide his side armor to WoolyWings. And now the scores are even again. Now the 4400 is a difficult tank for WoolyWings to take on. Same gun, same armor except for the extra side skirts, but he's a little bit faster. He's got better terrain resistances, so His acceleration is a little bit better. However, the traverse speeds are better on the standard T44. Unfortunately, that shell going into the dirt, it should have hit. Maybe 0.2 seconds of extra aim time would have provided a more accurate shot, but WoolyWings didn't really have the luxury of time at that moment. So the enemy 4400 a one shot, and Wooly will need 2 shots, so he is relatively safe against the 4400, but however, he has an ally, the 112, so he is in a bit of a difficult situation here. If he does fire at the 4400, then both the 4400 and the 112 will have an opportunity to shoot back if he doesn't eliminate the 4400. Alright, so tricky situation. Do you rush or do you stay? It's all depending on your team and your position. Staying is probably better if you can use your cover properly. The turret armor of this tank, not bad. The side armor, not great. Right, so the friendly defender, even though he's dead, encouraging the team. Shout out to you, Grendel. A lot of dead people just discourage you and try to make you lose. Don't be one of those people. Unfortunately, not finding a weak spot there, but only losing a track and no hit points, so that is okay. Friendly Emil also eliminated, so now it's a 5 versus 6 scenario. Right, so at least the FE4202 is doing well there to eliminate some hit points from the enemies, and the 4400 running, but Wooly isn't in position in time. However, the 112 is very nice to provide his side armor to where he knows or must know Wooly is, so that was quite kind of him. Now the 4400 is using his superior acceleration to get out of the position because he knows, Wooly knows he has fired. Wooly should push now. So the 4400 flees to reposition and regroup with his allies. Very good move there. One-on-one has a good chance. Move to your team, you've got a much better chance. Always flee from a fair fight. Go to where you have the advantage and push it. Unfortunately, the enemy's taking a beating there, but eliminating the AMX AC-48 is a very good thing. And Wooly quite lucky that the enemy 4400 missed him, and he was able to even the scores. Very lucky for that unaimed shot to find its mark. So 2 shots, 2 kills changes the landscape entirely. Now in a 3 versus 2. But you'll notice that Wooly is running out of shells. He's only got 16 left. It's not nothing, but if he keeps shooting half-aimed shots, he might run out. Right, 2 enemies remaining. A VK with over 1,000 hit points and the Pershing with, if I recall, about 700. So he's going to need at the very least 8 or 9 shells if they all penetrate. But consider the armor on the VK is quite significant, so with the standard rounds on this tank, you don't have a very good chance to penetrate. Right, Pershing decides to rush, fortunately donking one into the Alpine Tiger's corpse, and Wooly obliges with a nice tracking shot. Unfortunately, the enemy VK evens the scores. Now, again, aiming for weak spots, very good there, but unfortunately he hit the wreck of that little train car, so he couldn't do damage to the Pershing. Right. Unfortunately taking off the track and losing hit points there, so now he's in a bit of a nervous position, but he should beat the reload with the DPM on this tank. So now it's a 2 versus 1. CDC 51%, 700 hit points, should take 2 shots from the VK, but the VK decides to come reset the cap first. Now Wooly does have the mobility advantage, but the VK has a better gun and much more armor, so you need to be very careful what you do in this position. Now CDC takes some of his hit points off. Now you'll notice when Wooly aims at the VK again, I'll give you a hint there. When shooting at the VK, don't be baited into shooting the lower side. There's very good armor. You need to aim for the upper side, but fortunately there's a little line that helps you aim. When he moves in a bit, again I will show you. Because the lower Right, I'm just going to pause here. This line here is your clue. Shoot above this line and you should be able to penetrate. Below this line, you've got these skirts that are significant spaced armor and you will have difficulty going through. Always aim above the line on the VKs and you'll have a much better chance to penetrate. As you'll notice as well, WoolyWings is aiming for the lower plate. Also a very difficult penetration to make. Over 200 millimeters of penetration needed to go through there. So try to go for the upper side armor. The cupola there is also not much of a weak spot, so always try to go for the upper side armor. Right, back to the game. You see that one doesn't penetrate in the lower plate. Now Wooly is trying to track him underneath the train car there. He does do some damage to the track, but he doesn't take off the track. Again, shooting at the front plates, won't penetrate. There you'll see the green indicating that he could penetrate, and he does. Alright, so now Wooly is doing the right thing. By spreading the attention of the VK, you can't aim at both. Unfortunately, the VK eliminating the CDC, so now Wooly is now 1 versus 1 with a tank that's very hard to defend, so this is not easy. He's only got 4 AP rounds remaining, and the VK still has enough hit points to require at least 2 penetrating shots, probably 3. Unfortunately, that one bounces, and now you'll see he goes into the upper side armor. A little bit of a high roll, but not high enough, so he still needs 2 shots to penetrate. And that was his last AP. So now HE against the VK, you're not going to do much, so you do need to look for weak spots, like the turret ring or the upper engine deck. And fortunately, he does manage to seal the deal. Nearly 5,000 damage there. Very well done, WoolyWings. Now let's have a look at the post-game stats. Unsurprisingly, you've got the Ace Tanker, Hand of God, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, Spartan, and Top Gun. Unfortunately, missing the Radley with 1 there. On the team details, you'll see obviously he's number 1 on damage in his own team. Unfortunately, not finding the high caliber there, about 600 damage short. But the base experience there, a whopping 1,734. Very well done, WoolyWings. And then on personal details, you'll see running a premium account at the moment, he made a profit of over 30,000, even though shooting out all of his premium ammunition. Very well done, Wooly. Congratulations on carrying this one, and thank you for watching.